Hello there, unlearner. The reason why I greet you like that is because today's topic is what some people might call a little bit saucy, but also the way we're going to approach it is probably exactly why we've chosen to include the topic in the Unlearners podcast. So welcome to this episode of the Unlearners podcast. I am Zanele Njapa, the Unlearning Lady. So excited to bring you this conversation straight from our Unlearning Experience retreats, our annual retreat that we hold for 3 days in a phenomenal environment for individuals like yourself who are unlearners and are looking to transform however it is that they want to show up in the next year. That's what we help you to do right here.
The Unlearners. Learn, change, grow. Learn, change, grow. The Unlearners. The Unlearners. The Unlearners.
Because this episode of the Unlearners podcast covers a sensitive topic, we strongly encourage that if you are watching this with children or you are a child yourself, that you do not continue with this episode without adult supervision. Thank you so much and enjoy the episode.
The Unlearners. The Unlearners. Learn, change, grow.
Okay, so without going any further with intros, I literally just want to jump in, introduce our guest, but also introduce this topic so we can get the conversation going. Now, our guest today is someone who, and when I heard this term for the very first time, I thought, oh, I love this. So she is a sexpert.
I'm a sexpert, yes.
A
That's what my bosses
sexpert.
call me, yes.
She works with The Secret Corner, an organization or a company called The Secret Corner. But here's the thing, and this is where I want us to start, Glynis. They not only are an adult shop, but they also do a lot of work around education when it comes to sex and intimacy. And that's what today's conversation is, relearning sex, intimacy, but also a little bit of sexuality as well. Glynis,
Yes.
thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much for having me. And Secret Corner is so excited. This is something that we really aspire to do, is to put it out there to demyth the aspects of an adult shop, and I don't want to be seen in an adult shop because you know what? There's nothing wrong with it. People come in, they walk out, they come and get what they want. And anyone who says to me, I've never been in a shop like this before, I think, really? Okay, you know, because everyone goes into them. So yes, Secret Corner is as a boutique. We sell beautiful, intimate toys and things. We educate. That's my prime function. Is I love educating. I love researching. I love learning what I didn't know before, which was a huge thing for me. Not because I was naive. It was because it wasn't something that really bothered me. I wasn't that girl, or I don't know. You know, maybe I was too busy being, I don't know, something else. But when I first walked into Secret Corner, I was training staff, mind you, on something totally not even remotely associated. And I walked into the shop and I thought, this is really nice. I want to work in a shop like this. And there I am, working in Secret Corner. And, you know, we think that intimacy dies. It doesn't die, it gets better. It gets better. It's about teaching yourself. For me, like if somebody comes and says, you know, my husband, you know, he's really battling, the first question I'm going to ask is, your husband on medication? Enormous. Our dread diseases have gone from 40-something to 30-something. Dread disease, high blood pressure, sugar diabetes, ARVs is a huge thing in our country. Cannot take anything that's related to creating or enhancing an erection. But there are options. That's my job, is to see what the options are. Creams, pumps, rings, you know, and so on and so forth. I don't ever advocate for, well, actually that's a lie, I do advocate for it. But I never recommend women taking enhancers because we can't unring the bell. We are so full of hormones. We have periods, we give birth, we breastfeed, we do all these things, we go through menopause. So for us, it's easier to apply. Gels, serums, there's something inside there, and that is the most wonderful, wonderful thing. So my unlearning experience was, I don't know everything. I actually knew very little. And I come from a media background, and I came from an embargoed media background where information was not allowed. We would go out and we would report, and we knew it was never going to be published because it was in the 80s, in the early 80s. So I'm giving away a lot about my age, but that was a reality. So I'm very passionate about put it out there, let it be the truth, let people know, let people be educated into something that is so taboo, apparently. It is not taboo. Sex is not taboo. Intimacy is not taboo. Kids, I have grandchildren, twin grandchildren who are 13. They are so wide awake because of social media. I wish there was no such thing as social media because they get the wrong information. They were 6 when I started working there. Yeah. So they had been like nicely introduced into the adult industries. They don't see it as taboo. They don't see it as an iffy thing. They don't see, even their teachers speak to me. Their teachers speak to me, you know, and they say, we want you to come to talk to these grade 7s because all the information that they're getting is on TikTok and this talk and whatever, and I think it's dangerous. I think it's absolutely really dangerous. So we work really hard at maintaining our attention. We work hard at staying right up there in Google. So I don't know if you know that I write under 3 names.
Yes.
I write under 3 names so that Google doesn't penalize us. And if I'm writing about male things, well, it can't be a girl and write about boy things. So I'm a man when I have this alter ego, and it works for me, and it lets me be able to be kind of slapstick and, you know. Chanel, who is my boss, who is in New Zealand, is actually a botanical scientist, and I love that the complete juxtapose of being a botanical scientist and owning an adult shop. But there's such a beautiful commonality between botany and extracting things and pollination and stuff like that. It's very evocative, and I just think it works wonderfully. So I've worked with her for 7 years. She's my mentor and I'm her mentor, and we work well together. And then we have Mbali, who does our romantics. And by the way, 8XL is a size. It is a size.
Okay.
Yeah, 8XL is a size. When somebody comes in, I bet you don't have my size, and I say, I bet you we do. We do. Beautiful, sexy, lacy lingerie, panties, bras, baby dolls, you name it. We've got it. And 8, 9XL. And you know, that's people want that. Women want that. They want to feel comfortable. They want to feel alluring. Whether they wear it for themselves or whether they wear it for their partners or, you know, or whatever. So
let's backtrack here. I feel like we've literally gone from 0 all the way to 10. So maybe let's backtrack just a little bit. You mentioned the word taboo, and that's where I want us to start. Because for some people, just as you've been speaking, they just went, oh my goodness, whoa. Yeah. Because of how they've been socialized to approach today's subject. Yes. And that's where I want us to start, because this topic is about relearning that, going from the place where you've been taught that this is not a subject to even talk about, let alone things like playing with yourself and things like talking to other people about it. So many of us are not even at a place where we can explore, because we are still dealing with the fact that, oh my goodness, this is dirty. Oh my goodness, I cannot walk into an adult shop. Oh my goodness, whatever diseases or anything that's associated with it. So let's start off with, what are some of the greatest unlearnings, or maybe what are some of the mindsets and perspectives that you found, whether it's clients, people that you've met through the phenomenal work that you do with education especially, are holding people back from exploring and expanding?
I think it's something that they've never tried. It's something that either they in a relationship, a long-term, maybe a domineering kind of thing, they've just never ever explored it, and they've picked it up from somewhere, and you see, porn is out there. Porn is easier to get than a sex shop. Sure, yeah. You know, it's easier to get than an adult shop, to be quite honest. So they see all of this stuff, which are very man-generated aspect. Sorry, gents, this is not directed, but it is a very man-generated thing. And the women are feeling like, well, what about me? You know, like, what about me? So it's about educating the man who comes in for the tablets for his erection to say, what about your wife? What about your partner? You know, how about a lube? You know, you're going to have a long-term erection. How about a lube for her? You know, she needs something as well. It's and then, I think I'm going to bring my wife in. I'm going to bring my partner in, and that's a good idea. And they come in together. And I'm going to say about 80% of people who say, I'm coming back in, they come back in. Yeah. You know, they come back in. So I think that the taboo is less than it was in the 7 years that I've been there. It's definitely far more appropriate. People come in and they walk in openly. But then again, I've also got a steady flow of regular customers who will they will travel far and wide, who will only come to Secret Corner. You know, so I think that I think the taboo is less of a taboo than it has been. I really do think that. And if it is taboo to somebody, once they've been in, it's not taboo. It's not taboo anymore because it's a place, it's a safe place. It's a place where they feel safe to talk about whatever their gender is, whatever their sexual orientation is. We do not judge. We do not, it's none of our business. Our business is for you to have pleasure because it's a human right. You know, sexual pleasure, identifying with pleasure is a human right. And it's so fractured out there. If we can get a tiny bit of pleasure, whether it's self-pleasure or whether we're pleasing our partners or whether we're pleasing whatever, whether we're having phone sex, and technology is out there.
Yes, so tell me about that. Yes, let's talk about sex tech.
Is out there that I am like, my head spins.
Okay, so what have you got at the shop at the moment that is doing really well, but is probably one of your most advanced goodies?
Yes, I would say it's called teledildonics. That's the actual word for it. Okay. So it's your couple is in Dubai and you're in Warner Beach, and you can sync your sex toys so that they work together in a rhythm together. So he will have a masturbator. I'm going to brand name now. I'm not even sure if I'm allowed to do that. I'm going to tell you Loveends. Okay. So Loveends is a brand that have you get a USB. You go put it through the internet, and you have a masturbator. Your partner has a masturbator, and you have a vibrator. You sync it in, and as you're working together from different parts of the world, you're in sync with one another. You can be visual, you don't have to be visual, you can just be audio, whatever. So that's sex tech for you. To me, I find it like really out there, but so many couples are separated and so many people are using it. Yes. And then there's cam girls. Okay, what's cam girls? Well, you see, I didn't know what cam girls was either until I was approached about cam girls, and I was like, let me just Google what a cam girl is quickly. I had no idea what a cam girl was. Anyway, those are girls who use these toys and make money, and they film, and they have people who go onto their toy via their phones and pay money, and so these toys are cam girl friendly. So whether it's a wand or whatever it is, but Loveends have a safe cam girl portal, which is important. Of course. Now let's speak about that, because I know that's a big part of the work that you do at Secret Corner. Yes. It's not just educating people, but really pushing for sex education that is future focused, but is also safety focused, even in the space of sex workers. So absolutely. Tell me a bit about that. Sex workers work. I mean, sex workers work. We cannot deny that. Everybody has to have a place to be. We can't judge people. So there's an HIV, a pre-HIV injection that they can have. You can get it at the clinic. You get it at the clinic. The name escapes me right now. But so this has come out. So for sex workers mostly, or people who are not careful, or people who are, that's their choice. So they get a vial which they can put into their arm, which slow releases. They can go for a monthly injection at our local clinics, or they can have the loop put in over the cervix, which emits the ARV, the preventative ARV. So it is preventative. So that is something that we obviously don't do, but we have the information. You know, I have the information. I'm going to talk to somebody. I'm going to say somebody, you know, like, this is what you want. Are you on ARVs? Yes, I am. You can't take this because it works on the same neurotransmitter. What does that mean? It means that if we and it's mostly men. It's mostly men. Women don't. We don't have that issue, funnily enough. So, it's about sex education. It's about educating people into the LGBTQ community as well. That you can shop. You can come dressed as a girl if you want to. You can come in your overalls and your lace stockings underneath because you're a cross-dresser. We don't care. We love you. This is what we want. We want you to be safe, and
Yes.
you can come and shop with us. It's your choice. It's what you, and they're very open about it, and we love that. We absolutely love that. And there's so many facets of it. And then I think it needs to go from here. I think it needs to go into this level of sex ed and the normalizing sex education needs to go into pre-high school. Don't just leave sanitary towels in the girls' bathroom. Leave condoms and sanitary towels. Educate and facilitate, because education is so empowering. Whether you're 13 or 23, and you know they know about these things. Why are they not accessible? We say the age of sex is 18 or 16. I don't think it's 18 or 16. But these kids are doing it way before that. And that's a reality, you know. So we need to get out there and teach young adults about it. We need to teach young adults about contraceptives, safe sex. We need to teach them about hygiene, sexual hygiene, and choosing sexual partners, questions to ask. Whether they're 13 or not, it's relative. It's very relative. And that I have very, very strong stance on that. I really do. Because like, I've got little girls, I've got little 13-year-old grandgirls who are so know-it-all. My brain shudders. Thank goodness they've grown up in an adult shop. They have. They've grown up, spent time in there, like not to be nosy or to be lured or anything like that, because Gigi works there. And they just come and fetch Gigi with mum, and then they walk around and they go and sit in the back and whatever. It doesn't really matter. I'm not going to hide it from them. Why must I hide it from them? You know?
I think what happens, Glynis, is, and I mean, we're getting to the end of our conversation and I want to end off with practical steps, but what I'm thinking right now is that what happens is, and from my personal experience, I mean, as someone who's walked into the shop, I think twice, 3 times, what I think might happen is it's that the paradox of, I know that the information is empowering, but I also know that the information is empowering. So it's that cross function between, I know that when this is shared or when this is taught, it could be preventative, but I also know that there is the potential of it. And it's almost weighing between those two options to say, is it worth having the conversation? But I love that you used the word safe. Because this topic, this area has felt very unsafe, especially for women, like you say. And I know this because we have these conversations over and over again.
And that's something we can so elaborate on.
Yes, and even sharing that I have this problem. Every now and again, when it's time to get going, things don't work out, and I think it's me. Just having an opportunity to say that is so valuable.
And then people make a fashion out of something. And I'm going to use an example here, so we might be out of time, but like yoni steaming is vaginal steaming, became a trend. So everybody was like asking about vaginal steaming. So it's a bunch of herbs, and then you sit over this bowl.
Yes,
and
I've heard of it.
So I'm thinking, okay, let me just have a look at this. And firstly, it's your vagina. Yoni is a Sanskrit word, so some people don't know what a yoni is. Let's call it vaginal steaming, you know. And then I start reading about it, and the connotation is that it's actually dirty. It needs to be cleaned out. Actually, it's not dirty. It does not need to be cleaned out. It doesn't need to be hurried up down there. Leave it. So we stopped keeping vaginal steaming things. And there were like little pods of people who were having vaginal steaming afternoons. And I'm thinking, I don't want to be that person. I don't want to advocate for that, you know, because have the facts before you actually practice it. And that's, you know, I don't want to go and say, well, here's a bag of vaginal steaming herbs for you. And then the person reads and they think their vagina's dirty. It's not, you know, and that's just the misinformation and the misinterpretation of information that I really don't have time for. So I just not interested, and we remove it. It didn't work for us. We didn't keep it. Goodbye. And do you keep vaginal steaming things? No, we don't.
Okay.
Simple as that.
All right, got it.
Yeah. So people ask, no, we don't.
Yeah.
And you know, so and they think it's going to do great. These tightening the vagina, and there's a culture. These cultures they do not believe in tightening the vagina. So don't ask people. They're like, it's not just something that we just talk about. If somebody walks in and says, my husband better not find out, but I want to tighten my vagina. Kegel balls, honey. Use Kegel balls. You don't need to insert anything in there that's going to dry it out and make it feel all uncomfortable.
Okay.
These ways and means of, there's so much out there. My goodness, there's so much out there that we could go on for hours and hours and hours. We are women and we are men. We are couples. We're partners. You know, and we must let it be. Let go of the grapples of holding onto like a mindset that's not even necessary anymore.
Sure, it's not empowering.
It's not empowering. We need to empower. If we can't empower ourselves, we need to empower. It's very important that we empower people. What you do is so empowering, you know.
Yes, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So over and above, obviously, what we no longer have at the shop, there are stuff. There are lots and lots of products that you have, and you're actually going to give us a beautiful rundown of some prizes that you brought with you. Before we go into the prizes, though, so the prizes are available, and you might have seen Glynis looking in the room because we've got a studio audience that's part of the retreat. So they will be getting some of these, but also, so they've gotten something already, but we've also got some vouchers that you at home are going to get an opportunity to get, because the Secret Corner is also accessible online as well. So maybe let's close off on this note, Glynis. Tell me what a great starting point could be for someone who's going, okay, I understand that I've got a lot of unlearning to do when it comes to today's topic. Because for me, the way I was raised, the way I was socialized, what I've seen in the past is a little bit disempowering, and I feel like I'm in a place right now where I want to challenge it.
I think the best
What are great places to start?
A great place is to start on the blogs, on Secret Corner's blogs.
So just read some.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. How do they access those?
On the website, go down to blogs, there's everything there, and also just go on to find a question. Ask a question, and you know, if we are there all the time. We've got a WhatsApp line that comes straight to my desktop. We make ourselves available. So when I get in the morning, people ask questions, and I can filter those questions out. But if you really want information, give us a call. Go onto the blogs. I've worked there for 7 years. I've been writing information for 7 years. So on the business card, that's the Romantics is the lingerie. That's the lingerie, but still in the same shop. But on the business card is Secret Corner. And
can you share it with everyone that's online as well? What is the actual URL?
www.secretcorner.co.za.
Okay, secretcorner.co.za. Okay, that's perfect.
And then shop. Look online. People say, I rather shop online because I like the anonymity of it. Sure. Shop online. It's discreet. Our slogan is, we can keep a secret. Can you? We don't want you to keep the secret. We want you to spread the secret, but we can keep the secret. So everything is discreet and honest.
I love that. It speaks to safety. It speaks to being seen and being validated.
And that's what I love about Chanel is that this is her dream, you know, and she's young, and this was her dream, and this is what she wanted, and I adore that it has given me the opportunity to have such a beautiful ending to a magnificent career. Wonderful. My career has been in journalism and writing and investigating and stuff. I investigate sex now and pleasure. I couldn't be happier. To make people happy and to let people know that pleasure is your right. I'm here. Me.
All right, so we'll end off on the prizes and then we'll say goodbye. Yes. So these 4 vouchers are going to go to someone who is going to comment in the comments of this podcast episode, whether it's on YouTube or online. Who would you say we should give them to? Like, what is there a question you'd like to ask, and if they get it right, or would you like the first few people to comment?
I think people would just ask a question that they want answered, a nice question that they wouldn't generally ask, and I will answer it directly. And you know, I can answer it personally, one-on-one with you, or I can answer it like online. It's not a problem.
Wonderful.
So you have my number, my secret corner number.
Absolutely.
There's a WhatsApp number. You can contact me there. So I think ask a question that you would never generally ask, like what is a lube? Like, does a lube? Do we all need a lube? Yes, women need a lube. It doesn't got nothing to do with age. That's why I bought a bag.
Nice. Yes, so we've got a bag of goodies here that unfortunately, actually, let's see, we might have enough here to give to someone online.
That's a tablet for some gent.
Okay, what is this tablet
So
for?
this is an erection and arousal tablet. Men, sorry to say gents, but they love the size of their penises. Okay. So this is a tablet. It's a relatively new tablet. We love Lushka, so they are safe. If you're on blood pressure medication, it's not safe. So, but this is going to some kind gentleman. This is a silicone lube, which you will use. It lasts really long, male, female, whatever, but not to use with toys. Okay. So then you have a water-based lube, which is the Flow. Yeah. Exactly the same, water-based lube. This you can use with toys. A toy cleaner, very important to keep your toys clean. So you give it a rinse, spray it, keeps bacteria away.
Beautiful. And then these 2 babies.
No, this is a heating lube. Is there another one in there? Should be a...
Yes, there's a third one.
This is a heating lube, which is kind of arousing, which is quite fun. This is my favorite. It's called a clit gel. So this you apply to the vagina, and it gets the vagina tingling and makes it nice and easy to have. And then this is a delay, which is a vital ingredient to a lot of men who actually they think it is, but it is. So this is a delay gel. No lidocaine. We do not numb the bum, and we do not numb the penis. Okay. Because it's dangerous. You don't know if you're tearing. You don't know if you're going to get an infection. So we use nothing with lidocaine. We use nothing with clove.
Very educational. Most people don't know that.
Yeah, they don't know that. So that's that.
And we'll end off with this goodie here.
So this is going to some lucky woman. I wish I had more of these. This is Jeju. What I love about Jeju, it's got a deeper vibration. Doesn't have a high-pitched. Okay. It's got a nice deep rumble. There are brands. Jeju is one of these. So it's about this long, and it's shaped like that. Okay. So it's a nice vibrator for intimacy, also like it's almost like a wand. Nice for couples as well, under the scrotum. So it's not one of those long skinny vibrators. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful brand. I love Jeju.
Thank you so much. We
beautiful.
really
It's
appreciate all of these.
rechargeable, and you'll love it.
Oh, we love this. Thank you so much
Thank
to the
you so
partners who
much.
have given so generously to us and just made literally our session. And also for those that are joining us online, it's going to be such a great time to give these away. So what we will do is we will leave the Secret Corner's details, their website, phone number, everything. All the things.
Yes, it's all on the cards. I've given everybody cards.
Yes. So in the room here, you've gotten cards, but also for those watching online, we will also share
And then
it.
I'm going to do an unlearners voucher discount code. So if you want to shop online, that you just drop in unlearners, and you'll get an automatic discount.
Oh, lucky us. Thank you so much. Okay,
I love giving things away.
That's where we close off today's session.
Thank you.
I want to say a huge thank you to you for being a part of this conversation. Glynis, thank you so much for taking the time to be here.
Thank you so much for having us. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I wasn't nervous. I thought I would be.
You were amazing. Thank you so much, Unlearners, for taking the time to listen to this episode or watch it wherever you're watching this episode from. It's been a pleasure having you. And I hope that this episode has not only been eye-opening, but it's been educational. And it encourages you that wherever you are and whatever you're doing, and under whatever topic, there is an opportunity to expand your perspective.
Absolutely.
There's an opportunity to unlearn and relearn and always be growing and challenging mindsets.
That was so amazing for me, because I was like, what were you before? What was it before? Where do I want to take it? Because I want to take it to the schools. You know, where has it taken me? It's given me a spectrum of, and so many people say there's nobody besides you, Glynis, who would be able to do that.
Beautiful.
And I love that, you know. All my friends who know me well, you know, they go, yeah, and the best, this job was made for you.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah,
It's definitely
they
where
say
I
that
see you.